Explorers of Navoria, art and game design, Dranda Games and board games. We have 2 to 4 players, 12 and up, 20 minutes per player. In the magical land of Navoria, new and strange continents have emerged from the sea. The Council of Navoria has decreed that the new continents must be explored, and you and a handful of other intrepid adventurers have answered the call. The stage is set for the adventure of a lifetime in Explorers of Navoria. So there's your components. I am also going to say, inside here, I have put in the expansion, the Forgotten Lands. That came with all that stuff. It adds a few other little modules, adds a solo element, and a 5th player. But that is all also inside this box here. Let's get it open. I'll show you all that. And then after all that, of course, we have the how to play. So we are going to get this open. We start off with one of the rule books. So let's flip this open. You have your table of contents. You have your story again. Here are your components. Here's your setup. Your player setup. Gameplay. More story. Your recruiting action, along with a little flavor text about the recruit action. The card layout, favor, merchant cards, builder cards, soldier cards, adventurer cards, treasure bonuses, artisan cards. There's gathering, again flavor text for it. And then income, flavor text, income or return, flavor text, and then so forth. And then you have your game end. Then in the back you have your round summary. Then you have your expansion rulebook. So, table of contents with all your components, the expansion setup, the player setup, example, faction bonuses, new rules. So here are those 7 elements. A new set of cards, the gray cards, an exploration bonus tile, skills and contracts, round gold cards, species tokens, that solo mode, and that 5th player mode. To play with 5th player, 4 player, 5 player, There are 7 elements, including the expansion. Elements 1 to 5 must be used together, unless playing the solo mode, which I plan on doing here. And there are, as you'll see, a few different options for the solo mode. I am going to be starting with the first. But here's the rest of those other ones. So here's that solo mode, and then you'll see there's a chapter 1, chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll be starting at chapter 1. And if you guys like that and want more chapters, you'll have to let me know in the comments, and then I will continue doing them. So we start off with a bag with these little discs in it. I will say I have it already set up for a 2-player game, seeing as that is what we play, and that'll make more sense when I show you a separate bag in the box. You have your player colors. So you have your purple, your black, gray, your yellow, and your greenish. And what I like is that these trading posts, you'll see they are all different shapes. Like that's greens. Then purple has these little house ones, like so. Yellow, yellow has these little rounded kind of buildings. And then your black gray has these flat houses, like so. And then, as I said, the expansion added a 5th player, which is this white, that again has an even other different shape. But so you come with a few things. In it, you come with your little guys who are going to be moving around the map. You have your achievement tokens. You have those trading posts. And you have your point marker, etc. Again, this is also the deluxe one, so I do have the deluxe, or I got the deluxe upgraded components for these, otherwise they would be punch board. So you have your apples, you have crystals, you have swords. So this is what I meant about it being set up for a 2-player game, is you remove 1 of each token from the bag. So here are those tokens. This gray one with the magnifying glass is part of the expansion. Everything else was the base game. Here are the solo components and various other things. There we go. This here is all of the expansion content. So you have your species little markers there. These are, so the end round bonuses on the board are different. And then these actually this is a setup bag more so, because these are the achievements that you put on the board that you'll see in the how to play. Here are contracts. These are from the expansion. This here are your stacks of factions and such that was part of the expansion. So these kind of come with abilities that you can spend those contracts in, and it shows you what phase, like that can be in A and B, that's in B, this is in C, and then this one gives you a beginning bonus of the game. Some of them actually are ongoing as well. Like this one has you start off with, you have one of each species icon. So there are those. We have the cards. I'll get those laid out. You have, these are another part of the expansion. I'll lay those out with all those other cards. This is to go on the board with the expansion. The Forgotten Lands. This is so you have the island little spots to put those discs. You have your player boards, and one thing I want to kind of show you, if I can get it angled right, they are kind of debossed. You do have like a little indent on these spots where your trading posts go, but we have those 5 boards. And then you have the player board, which is quite large. Let me just kind of randomly shove stuff out of the way as I get this board open, like so. And you'll see where the decks of the different cards go. You are going to be moving your explorers through the different lands. These flags give you points. You're going to put discs here to get bonus to stuff. This is where those achievement markers go, and tiles. All of that will be covered in the how to play that will be following me laying out these cards, which is going to happen now. Alright, so we're going to look at these cards. This kind of notes the different types of cards they are, and they have different stuff, like they have the icons of the species. These are all instant rewards. Then these blue ones, this is an instant reward, and then you get this on your income. So here are your yellow and your blue cards. I do not remember the technical terms for them. Next up we have your greens and your reds. These I believe were your soldiers, but again these are instant. You grab these right when you grab the card, and then this is end of game scoring. So here are your red and green cards. And then over here, so you have your purple. These are in the base game. These were the ones from the expansion. These give you really good extra bonuses and stuff. They have 2 colors, but they don't have a species. This one, again, this side is an instant. This side is your income. So looking at all of those. And then these are little contracts or like end of round objectives. You'll deal 3 of these out at the beginning of the game, and you'll score 1 each round. Each person gets a player aid with the A, B, C, D. And then really quick, I just wanted to go through these tokens. That's if you want a tighter game in 2 players, you'll put that out. So then these have varying degrees of points per colored card. That's where those colors come in handy. Based on if there's 2 colors per or 1 color per. You'll see these like so. And then these were those ones that would go on the map and change the end of round bonuses for those. Alright, so that was all the cards and the tiles. Let's get into the how to play. We are set up for a 2-player game of Explorers of Navoria. I will say, just based on space constraints, typically you don't have this on top of the deck. You have it out here, but I want to make sure I can show you everything. So you're going to shuffle each deck. You're going to put it in its designated spot. You're going to deal out 3 cards. You are going to be shuffling up these achievement things and placing 1 on each spot. In a 2-player game, if you want it more competitive, you can replace one of them with this. We personally don't do that. You're going to create a supply of the resources over there. In a 2-player game, you're going to put 2 of each disc into the bag. Each player is going to get a player board. They're going to choose a color. They're going to put their trading posts on the 9 spots here. I have these laying down just so you can see them. Otherwise, you will have them standing up. You're going to have your 4 achievement markers off to the side, a player aid. You're going to put your explorer at the starting spot of all 3 tracks. You're going to randomly choose a first player. You're going to put their spot in 1, then the next one in 2, and your score markers up top there. A round is played, first the recruit phase, then the gather phase, and then the income, and then return. In the recruit phase, if there are no pieces in the town, you are going to grab 2 from the bag. Of these 2, you are going to choose 1 and then grab one of the cards from that display. So in this instance, if I grab this one, this goes to the town. I will put this up on the deck. For now, I'll set off to the side, and you're going to grab one of these 3 cards. When you grab a card, you're going to look at it. It's got some information on it. Up here, it's got the species that pertains to up there. You will also be getting an instant bonus if there's one to the left of this line, which there is, and then this is going to be the income. So if I take this card here, I would get 2 points based on the 2 crowns, and then I am going to move on the mountain track, which means I would just take 1 step forward, and then this will go into my tableau area over here. That card does not get refilled. Then the next player will go. At this point, they have an option. They can grab 2 from the bag, doing exactly what I did, or they can take the 1 from the town and doing exactly what I did. So they could, in theory, grab this bag, put it up here, and then grab one of these cards, again, gain an instant benefit, it's there, otherwise just gain it for its income ability. But we'll say they go in and grab 2, they have this, they'll grab a soldier, like so, because typically these will be on it, and then this one would go into the town. Then on my turn, I would be choosing the bag or choosing one of them from the town. You are going to be going back and forth until you have recruited 4 cards. In a 2 to 3 player game, 3 cards in a 4-player game. So to go over the card types, your card types up here are going to be giving you points at income based on the flags. We'll go over that in income phase. This will also be giving you points during the income phase. Your soldiers give you end of game points based on where you have trading posts. Your green cards are going to be giving you points and then possible resources. Let's look at this one here, for example. If I had grabbed this one, I would be getting 1 point, a sword, and an apple. When you obtain goods, whether from those cards or out here that I'll be pointing out to you, you have to place them on your player board, but each good has to go into a different section. So let's say I just did that. And this would be in my tableau. These yellow cards are going to be giving you points, so in this instance 3 points, and then it's going to allow you to build a trading post in the next spot in that specific area. This is the tree. In that instance, the tree is this one. You would take your topmost trading post and put it in the number 1 spot, number 2, or number 3, based on how many you already have out there. And again, this goes into your tableau. Once everyone has 4 cards, you are going to go into the gather phase. This is played in reverse turn order, so whoever is last going to the first player, going in that order. At this point, what you're going to do is you're going to grab a disc off of a deck. You're going to put it into one of these areas based on which one it is, matching it up, and getting what is depicted there. If You grab the purple. The first spot would be up here, which would be letting you build a residency anywhere. Once you go down here, it's move on any track and get a good of your choice. Get a good of your choice or move anywhere. So if I put that there, I could even grab this residence and place it right there. The blue bags are just straight points, 6, 4, or 2. When you do a soldier, you will be getting 2 swords and a movement. So had I gone there, I would grab my 2 swords and say put them right there, and then we will move on this track. When you grab the green and you put it there, you would be getting 2 apples and your choice. And then they would, of course, each have to go into a separate one. Now, if you look at my board, you will see I have completed this order. This order wants 1 of each good. This one wants 4 of any. This one wants 3 of a kind. It doesn't matter which one. You get 3 swords, 3 crystals, or 3 apples. But as soon as you accomplish the order, you are going to return the items to the supply. You then are going to score stuff. Let me bring this up closer so you can see it. So at that point, I had these 2 left. So when you fulfill the order, you're going to look first. I am going to walk on the tree one. I am going to get a point per green card, which is 1 point. And then because I've built this trading tower, I will get an additional 2 points. As you build more trading posts, you will unlock more rewards for fulfilling the orders. And then finally, the yellow one will go here, and this will be giving you crystals and points. You're going to be going back and forth until all of these have been placed, in which point you turn to the income phase. In the income phase, you are going to earn points from your cards with the income symbol in it. So all of these ones are going to give you income 1 point per flag you have reached or passed. So as of right now, I'm at 1 flag, I'm at 2 flags, I'm at 3 flags, so that would be 3 points. Had this character gotten here, this one moved very far, all the way to here, and this one to there, I would still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points in that instance. Next up, you're going to be looking at these ones. These ones are going to give you a point per that symbol in your tableau. So in this instance, I just have the 1, so that would be 1 point. The other thing about these symbols is you're going to look, and if at any point you get 5 of a symbol, you are going to grab your matching achievement marker. You're going to find it out here and put it in the topmost available. In this instance, my opponent hadn't accomplished it yet, so I am in the first spot. If they had already accomplished it, I would go into the second spot. Then you are going to be earning points based on where you are on the exploration track and according to player count. In a 2-player game, you only award first points. You're going to look at each track. In this instance, purple is in the lead, so they would get 3 points. We are tied here, so we would each get the 3 points. And then down here, I am winning, so I would be getting 3 points again. The other thing I want to note about these tracks is you'll look that if you get all the way here, there's this little treasure chest with a point symbol. So if you land here, you get 5 points. If you need to advance again, you will just get the points that are depicted there over and over for each movement you need to do. You are then going to do returning. When you return, you are going to move your markers either back to the start or back to your furthest trading post. The difference also, or with that also, so if I had built 3 of these on my turn and I ended the turn here, I would actually move all the way up to my furthest one. We then would discard the rest of these cards and then refill for another 3 for the next round. You are going to do this over 3 rounds. At the end of 3 rounds, you're going to move into endgame scoring. For endgame scoring, you are going to skip the return phase. You will still have done the income phase, however. You're going to be scoring your soldier cards, which are going to give you points based on where your trading posts are. So this is 2 points per trading post in the cactus area. You are going to be scoring the favor tiles up top. These are going to give you points per card based on where you are and there. So in this instance, I'd be getting 3 points for every purple card I have. Then you're going to tally up the victory points, and the player with the most wins tied is a shared victory. So that is basically how you play Explorers of Navoria. I do plan on doing a solo play of this, as I mentioned earlier. So if you go ahead down below and hit like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell, you will be alerted to when that video does get published. Alrighty, so until then, go out and explore.